He was really, really late. And in the meantime, she got a new partner, and they made it one egg. And when he came, he was really angry, so he kicked out the new guy, and he kicked out the egg. But they never copulated, never. And at one point, she was so tired of him, so she left him.
Hello, my name is Sasha Dench, but I'm better known as the Human Swan. I'm also the UN's ambassador for the Convention on Migratory Species. This year, the charity I founded, Conservation Without Borders, is launching a new expedition to follow the flight of the osprey, an epic migration of 10,000 kilometres through 14 countries from Europe to West Africa. As a part of this, we're doing a series of podcasts to highlight the global stories and connections this bird makes, to help us see our complex and challenged world through the eyes of this incredible animal. In this episode, I speak to Rune Aae about the Norwegian osprey story, how his fascination with ospreys started, and about a particular osprey called Mrs Rauer, who is far more faithful to a particular tree on the edge of the Sahara than to her partners, and why she now chooses a very unusual site to breed. Can you give us a bit of a summary of the bird whose name I'm hoping I'm going to pronounce right? We're saying Mrs Rauer?
Mrs Rauer, yes. She was she was originally called Mrs Huseby because she was nesting on Huseby. That's a place in Norway. And that year she was tagged. She got one chick with the Mr Huseby. And they migrated down to, she migrated down to Western Sahara. And he went down to Gambia, Senegal. He was on the border of Gambia, Senegal. But when they came back, he was too late. He was having a spa in Camargue or in France somewhere, and he was really, really late. And in the meantime, she got a new partner, and they made it one egg. And when he came, he was really angry, so he kicked out the new guy. And he kicked out the egg, but they never copulated, never. And at one point, she was so tired of him, so she left him, and she found a new partner out on the island Rauer. And then he was left alone, and he didn't get any females, not that year.
Her?
No, and not the next year. And he died in 2021, and I think he was really, really old. And we found him without a head, so we think there was a great horned owl that ripped his head off, and he was so skinny. I have never seen a more skinny osprey than that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And you mentioned his claws had looked worn.
Yeah, the talons. He got some spikes between the talons, and they were almost gone. So it was not slip, but very close to slip. So it's a hard time to hold on to the fish. And yeah, and the female went out to Rauer with a new partner. And what is kind of strange with that is it's just in the middle of the military base camp. So a lot of houses, a lot of soldiers. And this is so strange. We have never had any couple nesting among houses. So you can sit in your house and you can look at the nest just outside the window. And we figured, this could be a trouble, because there are soldiers everywhere all time. But so in 2020, she didn't get any chick. But in 21, she managed to get 2 chicks. And in the same nest. And she got accustomed to the soldiers. So when she came back in 2022, this spring, there was a military rehearsal out there, and they using helicopters, gunfires, cannons, whatever. So it's really noisy, and she had to wait 11 days before she could enter her nest. But she still managed to get out 2 chicks. So that was amazing, really amazing. So
and are the soldiers of the military aware of her presence?
Oh yeah, so I've been out there monitoring how they're acting while there are soldiers out there, and she couldn't care less. She's just staying on a nest, even though soldiers are running around and shooting. So she's a tough lady, really.
Wow. Either that, or she's sussed the fact that they're very focused on something else and not on her.
Yeah, but normally we have some few nests close to farms, and as long as the farmer doesn't go out of his tractor or whatever, everything is okay. But as soon as he goes out, the birds are on their wings.
Right. Yeah.
But on Rauer, she doesn't care. People everywhere, and she doesn't care. That's so nice. That's really nice.
And so far, it's working for her. And
yes,
so you contacted us, or we contacted you, because we are about on our expedition. We are going to be going past a site that she visits regularly. Can you give us a bit of a detail of her migration?
Well, the line with the dots, that's the migration route for this year. And what happened this year, and we have never seen that, we had a really, really strong wind from the east the day she started the migration. That was I have to find the date. I think it was the 7th of no, it's the 9th of September. And
right.
yes, and she almost blew all the way over to Scotland until she managed to migrate down south, and she almost hit the eastern part of southern England.
Do you know what sort of altitude she would have been at? Because she would have been able to see it from there, surely. She was so close.
This was 40 meters, this one, and this one was 120 meter in the air.
Right.
And this one is 170 meter. So she's actually not too far up. And this is also a trouble when it comes to the windmills out in the ocean, because she's flying in the same height as the windmills.
And there are plenty off East Anglia.
It is. And what is more scary is that we're planning a new windmill area here, and that is just in the area where she's migrating. So this could be a really nasty spot. Anyway, she migrated in one shot 1,454 kilometers, and ended up down here on her first 2 days. She was on the wing for 2 days without resting.
Okay.
And yeah, and the colors here is the purple one is 2019, the green one is 2020, and the red one is 2021, and this one is the last one. So it's not that narrow on the way down south, except from when coming to Spain, she is more narrow, and she goes all the way down to Morocco and to her specific bay in the southern part of Western Sahara, where she's been all years. And I can zoom into this area, and you can see that she is, she doesn't deviate a lot from her activity. So this is the overnight ground. This is a tiny part of bushes around here. So last year, actually all years, she's been using 2 spots. So this is one spot, and this is the other part, and this is the fishing ground.
Okay. Wow, but she's very, very faithful to this site and to those bushes.
Yes, so that's why it's kind of easy to find her if you're going down there.
Have you ever been? Do you know anybody else who's been there before?
Never. So I know people have been in Western Sahara looking for gulls, but none of them have been looking for ospreys. So I guess she can be very easy to find in this area.
Fascinating. Okay, well, we will definitely try. We're a bit further north from that still, but we will definitely have a go. And on her journey down, so she's quite focused. You mentioned she'd done quite a long journey through France from leaving. Are there any particular stopover sites that she goes back to?
Yeah, actually it is, but not this year. There's one place in France that she normally visits. It's around here, but this year she stopped around a freshwater lake, a small one, tiny pond. And actually one guy was able to photograph her when she was in this lake. She is the only bird that has one stopover on the way down south and one on the way up north. And the up north is in Germany.
Okay.
It's up here. Well, and we've never seen that before because all the other birds have at least 2 stops on the way down south, but not this one. It never stops in Africa. So that's kind of strange. We have a lot of birds stopping in Morocco, but not this one.
But she is always taking that absolutely the shortest journey across the Mediterranean by the look of it. Yeah,
it's really, really narrow and really fast. So if you're going from this one, 21st of September, and this one is the 27th, so 6 days from Gibraltar down to Western Sahara without any stop.
So
pausing no fishing
night.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yes, pausing at night.
Maybe just not to feed.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, yeah. That's been really, really fascinating. I really hope that we can find Mrs Rauer when we go down through the Sahara. Have I cut
that would have been really, really nice. At least to take just the pictures of the bay. That would have been really nice because it's so hard to get there.
And to see if we can speak to any locals about their attitudes to ospreys, that would be useful. And also see if there are any fishing, if there is any fishing activity. If there's that one road that's going close to the area, it gives me, it hints at the fact that it might be used by locals, even though we can't. Google Maps doesn't show any boats in that area. There might be, but yeah, we'll certainly find out what we can.